Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the time traveling toy collector, and this is the Transformers Legacy range, A Hero is Born duo gift set. I'm just going to pan with the camera actually, because it's going to be easier to get what initially is the fantastic artwork of this box into shot. This has literally arrived today here in the UK. I'm sure other people are getting theirs across the country as well. I know some people in the US and elsewhere already have their copy. Originally, I was in two minds about going after this, but I'm so glad that I did. To be honest, there's a couple of reasons I wasn't going to go after it. Issue one was I thought, well, actually it's going to be out of range before it even reaches sort of over UK retail, so I'm going to end up be looking at scalper prices at best. Luckily that was avoidable through the good people over at In-Demand Toys, who provided me with this copy, so thanks and a big shout out to them for that. But also I thought, well, they are essentially retooling and repaints of two pre-existing Studio Series 86 characters that I have, and I'm not a big fan of going after retools and repaints without good reason. And then I saw a couple of the advanced videos of what these guys look like, and that kind of changed my mind. So I'm going to show you first of all the box art, which I think is really gorgeous. Then I'm going to show you them fresh out of the box, and then I'm going to release them from the box. I don't think in this video I'm going to transform them up for you, because to be honest, and I'll mention this in when I get the figures in hand, but to be honest, I think basically what we're looking at is Cup and Scourge from the Studio Series 86 line, so you know what they look like, and if you're in doubt, you'll see the product shots momentarily. I'm very likely not going to be spending too much time transforming them. I'm going to be spending time presenting them and displaying them in their robot modes, along with the additional feature that they come with. So without further ado, let's just take a quick pan around on this box art. And it is, as has always been the case historically with Transformers, it is a really solid visual representation of Orion Pax, who's lying down there, who is the precursor in the cartoon and comic continuities of Optimus Prime. And up here we have Alpha Trion. So let's have a little bit of a look close up at these at the figures in the artwork, and it's really lovely. I mean, there's the logo, Transformers logo, Legacy logo, and there we have Alpha Trion looking all Alpha Trion-y, with his spiky shoulders and his sort of metallic cape effect, and the colour schemes of Optimus Prime as he first appeared, sporting a very Alpha Trion-y face. And then we have the A Hero Was Born tag along the side there. What's also nice is they give us some Alpha Trion artwork exclusively on this side of the box, which takes up the entire side. So there we go. Alpha Trion on this side, and comes as no surprise to discover that we have on this side Orion Pax, and there he is, looking a little bit the worse for wear, a bit of a precursor for how he might end up looking in the 1986 Transformers animated movie. So there we have the wraparound artwork for this, and I again really think it's a beautiful piece, and I think also it's a really nice smooth pack to put together. The top of the box just gives us Transformers Legacy logo in all its glory, and around on the reverse we do get the required product shot. So there you can see the figure of Alpha Trion, and in 21 steps you can see how he turns into a recolored version of Scourge's space hovercraft mode, which, you know, is very good, very workable, but that's the figure that I'm interested in displaying. Much like over here we have Orion Pax, and you can see there that's his alternate mode, which is very obviously a repaint, not even much of a retool really, of Studio Series 86 Cup. And here we have Vector Sigma, complete with a handy key, which is also, of course, to Vector Sigma. Transforms more than meets the eye. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I, for one, love it. I love the packaging. I love the style, the design. But most of all, I love the fact I was able to get it without too much fuss and grief. So I'm going to now move this to one side and bring in the main event for you. So I've taken the liberty of taking it out of the box. I haven't released them yet, but here are the actual figures in all their glory. I'll just pan up slightly for you there. So here we have on the left Alpha Trion, who is of course a repaint and reworking of the Scourge mold and the Sweep mold from the Studio Series 86 line. Let's get in a bit closer. We can see there very nice detailing on the face and the body sculpt all the way down, and then some accessories tucked away in a paper tissue. Another paper tissue there. I think we can guess what's inside that, and it sits beneath the legs of Orion packs. So a hero yet to be born, but most definitely on his way. So it comes packaged in robot mode, in robot modes, hovering over their connected accessories, and of course Vector Sigma itself, wrapped up in that tissue paper arrangement, bizarrely. So already I really like these figures, and I'm really glad that I've got them. I'm now going to get them out of their bindings, so we can take a look at them in hand. And as I say, don't panic if you think anything's missing from the video. I'm not transforming them for this. I may do it in a future video when I do them individually. This was more to say, wow, look at these figures. I think they're amazing. So let's get them out of that packaging and see if you think the same. And here we are with everything out of the box. One thing I'm not using right yet is the Energon snack dispenser, which bizarrely again comes packaged in with Orion packs, which of course belong to the cup mold. Not too sure quite why Orion packs coincidentally would have one of those, just like his physical counterpart cup, but it comes in with the pack as an accessory. But this is what we get, and we get some very good looking figures, I have to say. I think these figures look really good. Let's kick off with the accessory. Here is Vector Sigma, complete with key. It's a self-assembly. It's very straightforward. Everything tabs into everything else, as you might expect. There's no particular special features other than you do get the removable key. I say it's removable. I did have some fun putting it in, so it probably needs a little bit of a tweak to cut out, and I might have to show it to you later because I think I put it in too tough. No, come on. It's moving. I did wonder if there was a right way round and a wrong way round, but I couldn't really get any sense of that. So there you go. Came out far more complexly than it should have done. But there is the rather beautifully detailed key to Vector Sigma. If you don't want to lose it, I suggest you put it directly inside, because as you just saw, it will hold quite well. So there, and that's a very nice addition to the set. Let's kick off by looking at Alpha Trion, and that key issue is one that is a bit of a tale of two parts on both of these figures, because I think stylistically they look great. I'm going to just zoom out slightly just to give myself a bit more space here. I think they look great. I think the colorization is great. The figures themselves, in terms of when I discovered trying to get them to stand up, the articulation is fine. It's everything you'd expect it to be. So we get rotations in the shoulder and the bicep. There's elbow rotation, hip rotation, knee articulation, and ankle and heel rotation. and of course we get a posable and wibbly wobbly head, which is lovely. But some of it feels really loose and some of it feels really tight, and in Orion Pax in particular, when I was trying to get him to stand up, his hip joint is very stiff, and I actually, to the point where I thought I'm going to break it trying to get him to stand up straight. So that was a concern fresh out of the box. I know sometimes they are, and often they are, a bit stiff. This was the wrong side of being a bit stiff. This was ridiculously stiff. But as figures go, very well posable, very nice. You can see we'll get a line on the detail there along the body, Autobot symbol there in the abs, and the whole body line looking really, really good. And I really do like that head sculpt. Let's take a close look at that. Very, very much what you'd be hoping to see in Alpha Trion. So let's pop him there and let's take a look at, please stand up, let's take a look at Orion Pax. So let's get him up and out. So again, I don't want to, actually you've got freedom of movement here, so you can see that works quite well. But it's this one, there's very little scope. It feels risky. I don't want to do it. It's intuitively telling me not to try it. Anyway, from a head sculpt point of view, I think he looks really good. Very Orion Paxy, back from the cartoon. And again, obviously what we obviously have is Cup's re-engineered body. It still does have the Cup's features of poppy-off arms, and that is, again, a bit loose from my liking. We do have quite a loose backpack as well. I've tabbed it in all the right places, but it doesn't want to stay, which is a little bit of a nuisance, but I'm sure it's something that I can work with. We do again have some really nice detailing. You can see that, but again, we're really just looking at Cup's repainted body with a slightly reworked chest unit, and of course a different head, far more younger looking head than our Cup would ever see if you've seen them. But in terms of creating the impression of Orion Pax, who we obviously know from the cartoon and that particular animated continuity, I think they've done a really good job. I think, to be honest, I think the two figures themselves, let's just reframe that here. I think the two figures themselves look really good. I, for one, think it's an excellent set for display purposes. And as I said, I'm not here and now going to transform them. I just wanted to share my excitement and enthusiasm from coming in with you all. And I know that they're retools and repaints of pre-existing figures that we've had before and we've seen before. But I just really like what they've done here, and really appreciate the fact that they've actually done it. You know, so I think, yeah, I know it's come out under the Legacy banner, but I think these are kind of they have a real Studio, probably because they are molds from that range, but they have a real Studio Series 86 vibe to them, and I can see me presenting them alongside those other figures in terms of my displays. So yeah, I really like this pack. It's not a cheap pack, and I don't know how short stocked it will be in terms of how readily accessible it'll be for people, but I am glad I got it. It's one of those ones I can see probably in a couple of months, if that, suddenly we'll start seeing the scalpers getting very agitated online and starting to charge, you know, upwards of £100/$dollars for this set. I won't be surprised in the slightest if we see that happen. But I really love this. I really love the look we get with Alpha Trion. I think he looks really, really good. And to be honest, I can kind of see past the obvious overlap with the Scourge figure. And similarly with Orion packs, I can get past the cup remolding. Although, to be fair, it's almost harder with the Orion packs figure, I think. I don't know why. It could just be me being a bit peculiar, not unusual. But I do think that the Alpha Trion figure is the stronger of the two. And of course we have the centerpiece of sorts, which is Vector Sigma and the key to Vector Sigma, which of course is the classic title of the classic G1 cartoon that I think was the first time we ever saw both of these classic figures appear. I could be wrong, and I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments if that is the case. But I'm really, really glad that I picked this up. Do I think it's perfect? I think it's close to perfect. I don't like the fact that the figures have some real stiffness that feels beyond new toy stiffness. It feels really like I'm going into dangerous, don't break me territory. But nevertheless, I do think they are very good figures, and I'm very glad to have acquired them. I'll probably do them individually at some point and include their transformations so we can have a real chat about that. But in the short term, I just wanted to really celebrate their release, celebrate their arrival, and celebrate the fact that I managed to pick them up, as I'm now doing my best to not leave things to chance and collect in the first moment that I can, rather than be perpetually ever catching up. So, does the Hero is Born set have a place in your collection? Well, if you love the Studio Series 86 and the Generation 1 cartoon, and generally that sort of era of Transformers, then yes, it absolutely has a place in your collection, and I would urge you to pick it up sooner rather than later. If you're in the UK, you might be able to pick that up through, as I mentioned and as I did, In Demand Toys. There's also Kapow Toys. In the States, I'm sure Big Bag Toys probably would have it. Similarly, you can order it directly from Hasbro Pulse. So there's numerous ways you can get hold of it, and I'd try all of those and others before you start looking at online auction sites, because believe me, I can already taste the added coinage being applied to this pack. So yes, I certainly think it's worth adding. Do be careful. Obviously, you might want to display them quite differently. For me, they're probably going to stay in robot mode for display purposes and photo opportunity purposes. Certainly for this video. I'll include some photos at the back end of the video, as I always try to do. But yes, thank you very much. Do let me know if you're going to collect them. Do let me know if you've already got them and what you think of them. And stick around. Check out some of the other videos here around the Legacy range or the Studio Series 86 range, or indeed beyond Transformers, just in case you're interested in things like Star Wars or Doctor Who or Star Trek or anything like that. Anyway, thank you very, very much for sticking around for the last 20 minutes or so. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You have been a fantastic audience, and this has been the Transformers Legacy Edition box set, A Hero is Born. I'll see you in a future video. Please subscribe, please like, and above all, remember to transform and roll out.